Reish Mem Bet, which is really where I thought I was supposed to read yesterday, but I actually was in the right place. But now he's starting to go into, there's still quite a ways to go here. He says, based Hamem Lama Yisod the Ibo who Ekia the Hayed. Why this is an Ekia the Hayed? Reading the words of the Rav. Ina v'hinech the fish hem nemshachim derek yisod the ima, so the mochid have to come through the yisod of ima. I guess the chasadim and gaburos. Asher noida ki hu shem akia b'milu heyan. So we talked about this, or maybe we did. Maybe we did. This is that the yisod is represented part that which is the akia, which is the milu of heyan. Hu gematria kanaf. So we got there's a gematria kanaf. So with the kolel, it says with the kolel it makes 151, which is the gematria of Ekia Dehayat. V'zesha Kosim and Kanafa Aretz. This is the meaning of this phrase, from the wing of the earth, which is Lashon. Earth is always Lashon Malchus. Zmiros Shemanos. So we heard songs singing. It's Tzvi L'Tzadik, glory to the Tzadik. Kanaf. So he said over here the Kanaf Shehu Ekia Dehayat. That's the Ekia they're talking about. Well, maybe we'll just take the tiv here real quickly, where it starts on number Reish Pei. Reish Pei is up here. So it says like this. Let's read the light print. He said, Tar Oros, because we've been talking about the 756. We had a way that we developed that number, and then at the Chaza itself, which we learned yesterday, is that 156 of them stay there. And they form an upper yisod of Zeranpin. So he says that the 600 at that point at the chest, whatever is going down from that place is going to be the 600, because the 156 is going to stay behind. So that's a fact, and he says he shows us what it looks like. B'gematria konen, v'hu ola b'gematria knaf, gasher timda imo as a koil shel tevis knaf. As you count within it, the koil comes to 151, that number of kona, and I guess he's saying that that's a raya. I'm not sure what the bigger idea is here, that the raya that the ekia that we're dealing with is the ekia of hayin, which is knaf with the koil. Kanaf Haromez are Yisod the Ima, so it really is a revis to the Yisod of Ima. Shehi Shem Enki de Miluhe, and now he says it again. Behi Bigamatri Knaf. So he says, so now you take this 150 away. That is this 150. Vitar Olu Shehem Tzitzit, so the strings themselves, which represents the 600 lights that are coming down from that place. Hemi Yotzim HaKanaf, they come out from this Kanaf. In other words, they're taken away from that gematria. Shuha Yisod the Ima, and which is Yisod the Ima, Umisham, Hem Nimshachim al Yisod the Za, and then they come from there. The Yisod of Ima wind up in the Yisod of Zer Anpin, and Nikra Tzadik was called the Tzadik, and that's where it's been the Tzadik. So let's see a little bit more now. Reish paid out. Begam Efsha Lombaki Gam Kolchal Shlosha Achrona, so that you could also say that the whole set of the three lower spheros of the Oros of Ima, he said Shlosha Achrona Sheba Shehem Netzachod Yisod, or in other words the 9. Yesh Bechem Shem Echon Shal Akia Dehayin Kabubukur Beslema. So you could also picture this as the three of them together represent a level, let's say, over like a madrega or a bechina, which is the bechina of the Ekia, the Hain. Because while they're inside of Ima, Yesh Shem Ekia the Yudin, Bishlosh Rishon Shabbat. So he says, stop for a second. Because when they're inside of Ima, that you see that the Gar, which is the Chabad, is actually, if you wanted to look real deep inside of it, you would see that its actually basic root combination, a composition, is a Ekia to Yudin, which is Gematria Kasa, B'shlosh Rishon Shabbat, in her Gar. Then he goes on and he said, but let's chop it into three. Let's take a look at Ima in three parts. Ve'ekia, the Adolofen B'shlosh Em Su'ir Shabbat, that would be in the middle part, which is the Hagat. And in the Nai, that you would see that whole category is going to be called at different times. It's going to be called the lower shlish. So now we have this Ekya Dehayan, which is her night, coming into Zer Anpin. Parts of Echad Shalom, so it makes them into a complete and total parts of. The Me'eser Spheros, that is composed of 10 Spheros. And now you have, I'm not sure exactly how he means, let me see, his words are, when the Nai comes into Zer Anpin, it makes 10 Spheros within Zer Anpin. As we understand that the Netzach is divided into 3 parts, and so is the Hod, and so is the Yisod. That makes 9, I guess, and one way or another, there's a 10th. So you have the etis. So now let's look at it this way: right line, left line, middle line. So another way to look at this, there's an ekia the yudin that's going to be the netzach. So that's the kasa on the right line. But the lof and behod, and then you're going to have the kamag on the left line. But the hey and the yisod and the yisod. So this is a way to add them up. He said, so if that's the case, so he says, if that's the case, I'm not sure exactly how he got to this particular line, but he says, given the case that you have the 3 lines representing the 3 different types of ekyas, he said, so all of them take from the bina their bina. And became arba ekya dehayan, and that is what is it? What are they taking? They're taking the 4 ekyas of hayan. Okay, let's have it. Okay, are you still there, Rabbi? Not there anymore. What's going on here? Oh, he's busy. Pathetic. Okay, we'll put it on hold for a second till we get him back. So let's go down to the bottom of page Reish Mem Gimel just to get the flow of this. So he says, after he said that the entrance of the Nai of Ima into Zer Anpin causes a complete partsif to be developed of 10 spheros, massive spheros, and then he said the bottom line, but also the Asa Ekya the Yudin Benetzach, so that there's an Ekya on the right line, there's the Lafim on and a Kamag on the left line, but Hey and Yisod, and then the Hey becomes Yisod. Now he said v'im kach, so that's the case now that the hand looking at it in this way. V'im kachu nimsiki ha'arba mochen lochim ha'aras lavur shubina chashalahem. He said it comes out that the 4 mochen that we're dealing with here all take their ha'ara from the lavush of bina asher lahem that they have between them. Now let's see what he meant. V'heim arba ekya dehayan, and so that each one of the mochin, therefore, is clothed or in some way with an ekya dehayan, shehu sod arba kanfos, which is the secret of the arba kanfos. So you have kanaf, 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 those 4 times. But b'china b'rishon she'ein ekya dehayan ela b'yisod. So now the first one, the first way of looking at this is that the ekya dehayan is only in one place. It's in yisod. So if you say, well, as they're passing through that place, lokim ha'ara misham, they take a lavush or ha'ara, which is a radiance that's coming out. It takes the radiance, not the essence of the light, but a radiance that comes from that bina, that lavush of bina, v'hu b'sod ekya dehayan, and that radiance itself somehow is the ekya dehayan. Arba convos. Now counting it up, so there are 4 different convos, corners. Arba pamim kanaf. So then you have the number 4 times kanaf, which is 4 times 150. So therefore, this secret, what we're talking about, of this clothing that comes as a result of the mochin, or the coming through the yisod of ima, who gam came mora al shem tzitzis. It tells you about the tzitzis, which is the gematria 600. Ki arba pamim kanav and gematria tzitzis. So that was a little bit around. So let's see over here where we start on number Reish Pei Daled in the Tiv. So the Tiv says, one second. Okay, the Tiv says, "Va'od yesh lefarish heich yisod de'ima hu shem eki b'milui hein." So the fact that you said this is that the yisod of ima is in fact the Ekya Demilu Helam Aroma Bateva Kanav, which we had played the concept Kanav, and shown how that worked in Hayan, which is the same gematria as Kanav, that is Kana and Kanav with the Koilel are equal. Now, actually, how he does it mathematically are not in contents, because it's that you're really dealing with 4 times 150 is 600. But in regards to the kana itself, the 151, you still have 4 numbers that are left over in some way that represent here the concept of the yisod. So he said the last 4. He said the last 3 spheres of ima, shehem anai shalo, which are anai, yesham biyachad shem ekya echad b'milui hein. So he said that higher, now you could just look at it horizontally as if there's a block put over the yisod. And that whole air, that is the nai, that level of the nai going the very bottom level. He says that this is a place where you find, for all of them, have the concept of ekya b'milui hein. Below rock be yisod shalol levad, not just in the yisod, ela b'kol anai shalol, because the whole category, the nai, the nimsa, the fizeh, so according to that, should be yisod, the iba yesh, rock, shlish, Mishem Akib Miluihain. So if you look at just one part, you're only going to see 1/3 of the amount of shefa that's coming through this Miluihain, only there. He says, look at like this. He says, as you look at the spheros in Ima herself, before they come into Zeranpin, Timsa Shabagar the Ima, which are her Chabad, he said, Yesh Sham Shem Eged the Milu Yudin Kazeh. So he shows her the Milu Yudin. And then he said, Vishloshem Se'ius the ear, and then the middle section of Ima, we're talking about Ima looking at her at this point as in a column kind of sense, where she's like a column, and the bottom of her column is the Ekya, the Hayan. In the middle of that column, the middle section of that column is going to Chagat Shalom, will be her Chagat. Yesh Asham Ekya the Milui Alofen Kazem, and he shows it to us. And then the hand, when you come to the Nai, so that the Shlosh Achrona Shal Ima Shehem Nai Shaba, Yesh Sham Shem Ekya the Milui Kazem, and he shows us that Milui. So then he says, now the Nai comes into Zeranpin. Mishnah Zechaseder, then this order changes. As it comes in, even parts of Shalom, it makes the Nai inside of Zeranpin, instead of three spheros of Ima, he calls it the 10 spheros or 9 spheros of Zeranpin. Those are shalats from Pirkei Yonim Shalonai, the Ima mispashtim b'chabed shel Zeranpin, so that the Shlish Elyon of the Nai of Ima becomes the Chabad of Zeranpin. The Prakim I'm Sa'im shall Nai the Ima, then the middle ones, that is the Chagat, that would be the Chagat level there. This Pashat b'Chagat shall Zah goes to the Chagat, the Shara b'Pirkim Tachtonim shall Nai the Ima, the lowest part. This Pashat b'Nai shall Zah goes to the Nai the Zah. So now you have aspects of Ima within the Chabad Chagat Nai of Zeranpin. Shezerah parts of because the parts that we're talking about that is made out of the Nai the Ima, who kolum eser spheros. So you make it, add in the Malchus in there, you have 10 spheros. Kasha niknasim nai the imba bezah. So now nai the imba is inside of zah. Oz na'aza seder acher v'hu, and it makes now a different seder. Now this is what maybe I missed this a little bit on the reading the Rav. Shal Netzach the imba na'aza shem ekia b'milu yuda, because now that they're all in and they go into three different lines and build zah into, as he said, 10 spheros. So now that they're inside of Zah, we see that the right line, Shem Milui Yudin, is actually composed of the Ekia of the Milui of Yudin, which we just saw. Over there you see a different kind of Ekia, Ekia the Milui Olofim. So now you've gone right, left, and you have the excuse me, you have the Milui of Yudin and the Milui of Olofim. And then the final one, but the Hayan is going to be found in the Yisod. Rabbi, are you still there? I lost him again. Okay, we'll just wait. Something is wrong with my phone. Also, no, that's not what I want. Okay, here we go. Okay, you're back, Rabbi?
Yep.
Okay. Now we're up at the top. We're reading the Tiv at the top on page Resh Sadivov. He said that Yisod the even the Asa Shem Akia b'Milui Hayan. So now he says this is now they're inside of their Anpin, and now we see that they have a different lineup. Somehow the combinations of the Akias have changed. V'im Yisod the Iba Yesh Shem Akia b'Milui Hayan, and then you see that in we've now gone through the right line is Kasa, the left line is Kamag, and the middle line is going to be Kanen. The Kavan should be Yisod the Ima Yesh Sham Shem Aki the Milui Hayan, because there, using this, we find that the Aki of Hayan is still in the middle column. So now let's talk about the four mochin that are now going to come into Zer Anpin, which I guess he means to say by the chub. I don't know why he said the chub. He said four, and then he said chochma bina. I suppose he means so he means the chub plus the chesadim and the gevurah of das. Shehem Arbecham b'milu Yaakov. Now I said it wrong. So what is meant by that? I saw this wrong. I'm sorry. So Alachum Shehem Arba Milu Yaakov, which we said is the Chochma of Ima, becomes Yaakov. Meshulavim Arbecha b'milu Aki, and you put those two of them together. So that's what we said before. Gave us that number Shano 756. So he said, so now he says what? All of these miluyim, that's the Kasa, Kamag, and Kana, have to go through the Bina, which is at the Chazah of Zah. In order to spread into Zah, they're going to become the secret of Tzitzit from the Chazah Lamata. So what happens now is all of these, the four mochin that he's talking about. He said four. He said the four mochin that come into the Yisod, the Bina, Shuhu Eki, the Miluhe, and that one. So each one of those mochin of the chub, lokech. Now I got it wrong. I was going to get it wrong again. He says the mochin of the chub are the Akis and the Yaakos. That's the mochin he's talking about. Each one of them is a set of four, but now that they're going to come through the Yisod of Ima. Lokeich Shem Eki de Miluhe, and so on its way through, each one of them acquires the Eki, which is the Kone, the Miluhe. So as a result of passing through that place. And so now you have, instead of the four mochin only, that we were talking about of both Abba and Ima, now you're going to have this name Akia of Hayan is going to be associated because they come through there, they pick up that lavush. The fich of yesh arba kanfos bakal talus, and this is the reason why we have four corners on every talus. Shehem keneged arba shemas Akia the milu Hayan, which really refers to that Akia of the Milu Hayan, which we know makes 4 times 150. Shemechem kol kanaf lokeich shem Aki the Hayan. So this is the so he's telling us that the combination of Abba ve'Ima, as we always speak about Ima, but the combination of Abba ve'Ima coming with the Yaakos and the Akis all of them, Shemechem Kol Kanaf Lokeach Shem Eki Dehein Litzorach HaMoach HaShayach Alav. So each one of the convos apparently has a moach that is regard to it. Whereas we see that things like this is that the Eki is only found in the Yisod, and now these are going actually in the Netzach, and everything's coming through Yisod. So therefore, actually everything doesn't come through Yisod. I'm not exactly sure that I understand it, because the Chasad and the Chochma and the Bina go down the right lines, right and left line. So he said, but since they're all have to come out as of the Nayavima, of that level, Kasher Malachim Shal Chub Shehem the Tar Oros. So he says these are the 600 lights after we remove the 156 from them. Ovrim Derek Yisod the Ima, they all have to go through the Yisod of Ima Kedei his Pasha Begufa Dezah in order to spread into the side of the body of Zah. Heim Lokim Aram is Mahalavush the Yisod the Ima, so therefore they're taking the glow, they're picking up some of the glow like Tinkerbell's I don't know, with a magic dust, whatever it is, they picked up this lavush, Mahalavush the Yisod the Ima. Now, I'm trying to understand this because I guess that what he's saying, he just said that the Yisod, I'm asking you if you agree with this, I don't know, because we have the concept that the Netzach and Hod of Ima go down the right line and down the left line. But it must also be that there's Yisod there before they split right and left at the neck of Zeranpin, of the upper level of the Yisod of Ima, and they must come through there. And then it goes down, there's an extension of the Yisod. This is my explanation right now, trying to understand this. He said the Yisod, the Ima continues on with the Taras of Yisod that goes all the way down to the Chazir. And then you already have the Hub in there, according to that. And as a result, they're going down the right line and going down the left line. But they all came through the Yisod. That's what he seems to be saying of Ima. For Ara Chazu Shehem Lokhem Yisod the Ima, so this Ara that they're taking to the Yisod the Ima Hu Shem Eked Wehein. So that's what now they all have this. So previously he had said that the three lines represent the Kasa Kama Kana. Now he said, but as they all come through the Yisod, they all pick this up too. This is the way I'm hearing it right now. Shazucha Aras Alavush Shech Yisod the Ima, so that is the Ara, that's the fairy dust, or the dust, just trying to figure out a good word. He's sowed Arba Kanfos, or you could say it's the pollen, whatever it is. Became Shahem Arba Shemus Eki de Miluehayan. So since now those things which are for Ekias, Miluehayan, because Eki de Miluehayan, Oile Bigamatri Kanaf, and so since each one of them now wants to say that okay, I'll say it like this, that since we understand the Netzachot Yisod, each one of them have within it a different combination of the name Ekia. We have a Kasa, Kama, and Kana. But even so, they're wrapped in the lavush of the Kana itself. That's where I hear it now. Because Ekia, the Milui Hayan, Oile Gematria Kanaf. And so therefore we see that each one of those Malchim is going to have the Gematria of Kaf Im Od Koilo. I guess they got to put a Koilo on there. Nipsiim came shall ba'arba pamim shem Ekia, the Milui Hayan. So it comes out like this. At this 4 times you say this. Yesh arba pamim kanaf. So this is a riot to the concept of 600, how you get it in another way. He says, shehem keneged arba kanfos sheyesh betzitzis, and they correspond to the 4 corners that refer to tzitzis. Now there's a little bit more here. And it says, let's talk about the lavush. Again, in other words, okay, it's a lavush. Hanikra kanaf is also called by the name of kanaf. Zera lavush romes gam al shem tzitzis. So he's just spelling it out for us. It also refers to the name tzitzis. Kevin sha'arba b'mochem, and now since these 4 mochem that we're talking about, shehem b'gematria tar, comes to the gematria 600. Called echad mechem lokeach lavush b'yisod the ima. Each one of them takes a lavush from the yisod the ima. So no matter what they were, all of the tar. He says what the tar is that they're all wrapped in this lavush. Now, this lavush of Ima. Now, I would say he's really getting particularizing our view of this. That together they become 600. Because Ekia b'miluheyan hu b'gematria kanaf. Nimsa sheyesh kan arba pamim kanav. So now you have 4 times kanav. Shehem ole b'gematria tzitzis. V'arba sheyesh nei ramaz b'tzitzis. So now we have 2 different hints at the concept of tzitzis, inner ideas. Echad hu ha'atar oros hayotze miyasod de'ima. One is that you have the 600 lights, which represents the tzitzis. So you're putting on the tzitzis, imagining them tinkling with magic dust. Shehem olim b'gematria tzitzis. V'asheni, the second one, who Natar oros shalokim arba pamim eki b'milu heyim, but they also have oros that they take upon themselves like a lavush, which comes from the name Kohen. Malvush Yisod the Ima ba'ovram sham, because all of them, one way or another, have to pass through Ima. So he said, "V'arba pamim eki b'milu heyin heim b'gematria tzitzis," and that's where we stop right now, and that's that piece.